This question looks at acceptance within the law of contract, specifically on the UN Convention on Contracts for the International Sale of Goods. So the scenario that we've got here is we've got a buyer and a seller who enter into a contract. Now, the question arises, well, when does acceptance take place? Because what happens, one party will make the offer, the other party accepts the offer, and assuming that there is consideration, assuming that there is intention to create legal relations, the contract becomes binding on acceptance. So it's very important that we know when was the contract accepted. Now that becomes more of a problem on an international basis because the distance between the buyer and the seller may be quite significant. So the UN Convention is designed to standardise, to clarify the law in this context. And in terms of your textbook answer, the textbook answer is acceptance takes place when it reaches the offeror. However, that has to be within a reasonable time. So, classic example, I've received an offer through the post. I want to accept that offer, so I accept the offer and I send it back maybe via a courier or something like that. The acceptance does not take place until it reaches the offeror, the person who made the offer, assuming that that's within a reasonable time. The second option here, when the offeror, the person making the offer, acknowledges receipt of the written acceptance, there is no obligation to acknowledge receipt. So that is not required for acceptance to exist. When it is properly posted, this refers to the postal rules that applies within some jurisdictions in the UK and to some extent within the US. That is not the case under the UN Convention. What the postal rules say is that acceptance takes place when the item is post, not when it's received. That is not applicable here. So under the UN Convention on Contracts for the International Sale of Goods, acceptance takes place when it reaches the offeror within a reasonable time.